So thank you for coming. If you have any questions or comments, please throw them out at us. Or just throw them out.
Do you want us to say what did and didn't come true?
Can if you want.
Did I-
Absorb crystals. Matt?
So when you were writing this, I'm sure you got excited about thinking about the future. What is the most disappointing thing that didn't come true?
Test tube baby.
And I'm gonna, and that's to everyone who isn't in college, who isn't studying here now. So.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what that might be. I think it's kind of interesting. We were thinking along such linear lines. You know, we figured computers would be a big deal. This was in '85, and I just worked seasonally at Toys R Us, and Atari computers were being sold. And computers seemed like they were going to be the next big thing. And who knew that we were going to have the internet, and then cell phones, and everything else. So the picture phone.
Yeah, the picture phone.
Which we kind of had with FaceTime.
And 25 cable channels. Is that?
No, 25 cable channels with any religion.
Oh, okay.
Not any
I found that
religion.
when I read through it last night. It's
Okay.
Like, oh, actually, it's only 25 cable channels with religion. I didn't see as many as we have, nor how little would be worthy of watching. But anyway, so there's that. So I'm not exactly sure how to answer your question.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What was your idea of what Zorb crystals were?
They were some kind of crystalline substance that would transfer signals faster than transistors or microchips, I guess.
I just picture like the Star Wars canon with the lightsaber crystals.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you can.
I was thinking
A good example of what I remember thinking the future would be like when we were in the 70s and 80s is the Jetsons. If anyone ever watched the Jetsons cartoon, if you can go find this like on YouTube or something, it's all mechanical, with flying cars. I mean, people thought about computers but didn't realize the role that they would play. So the lead guy, George Jetson, works for Spacely Sprockets and Cogswell Cogs, so cogs and sprockets. That was the future, it was just more mechanical stuff. But fancy, I mean, sort of didn't realize that that wouldn't really go anywhere, and that we'd be going in this information direction instead.
And Rosie the robot,
Yeah.
who was the maid,
Mm.
who just looked like a person made of metal.
That's right, Mr. J.
One of the things that I like about the way you envisioned this is 63 or 65 wasn't necessarily sort of the end of life, which 30 years ago the 30s would have thought of. Instead, that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. And it's always important to keep your friends.
And that's kind of the ironic thing. Fred, who is Jeff, we just had lunch with him on Sunday. Fabulous. Dan, we were friends for 30 years, and in 2008, he suddenly would not return my calls, emails, would respond to me. I've not heard from him since. And so, you know, it's quite a...
No, he's fine. It's just goofy. We don't know. I mean, it's like a midlife crisis that he just folded and just abandoned the friendship, which is so confusing.
Yeah.
I have another friend like that myself too. Incredibly, I had an intense group like this in college too, and there are a lot of circumstances, but like the entire group has been trying to get her to respond back to us, and she just won't. I don't know, whatever, she just rejected us all, which is really painful, and I don't know why. So,
I have a friend like that as well. I'm wondering if maybe every close-knit friend group doesn't have, you know, a story like that.
Yeah, unfortunately. Something else I think is interesting, I was thinking about this last night, instead of going to sleep right away. It's interesting that I killed off Dan's wife. They actually got divorced. And I killed off Diana, I'm sorry. And I was trying to figure out why I did that, but I guess I figured out even when I was 27 that it was more of a tragic thing, or as equally tragic thing, to lose one's spouse as it was to be trapped in this sort of weird marriage that that Jeff and Cassie have. In real life, they're divorced. They're still together, but it's still this kind of samey thing that goes on, and so that's just a different thing that happens to people. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm not even sure I should be asking this question, so that's a good start to a question. But when we did the run through and I read through that's the first time I actually read through the whole thing. Probably should have told you that, but I noticed something in here. You wrote about you having a son.
Yeah.
You didn't.
No.
Is that something that you wanted?
Yeah.
Is it something
Well, a child.
A child,
a
yeah.
child? Is that something that you read? That's what hit me the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I be your son? Metaphorical son?
Many sons.
Yeah, they're all sitting up here.
Can I try out for the position?
Audition.
Well, you're not eating at the park.
No! Dad!
Yeah, it's kind of funny because eventually, was written 2 years before it was written 2 years after we got together, but still 4 years before we got married. But we were really hoping for a daughter in the long run, and I would have loved for her to go to the theater. So it's odd that I expressed the fear that she would be a starving artist, or that he would be a starving artist. When, like I said, I make a pretty good living. So it's kind of a strange thing. I'm afraid people are going to ask me about the sex story.
I was thinking of a way to do it.
You're all avoiding that.
Did you, when that happened, did you have the stash? Like, what was the face shot like going on there?
If you're looking for a reason to keep yours, it's not.
I would say keep the face there.
It's enough.
What does this devolve to?
So anyway, about the text itself.
No, it actually was on the couch, and I never did enjoy hers, I hope, so. Sexually, you know.
He was not a Romeo.
C'est la vie. Anything else, any observations about it, or any other questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to say too, it's odd that there's the lines streaming through it about you can't change the world, you can't change the world. 'Cause that's not really what you believe.
Not at all.
All right? And I'm a little surprised at that, actually. Because he's always believed you can change at least bits and pieces of it.
Or
And
change one person at a time.
Yeah, or change how you react to it.
That occurred to me too, and I don't know why that's there like that. And I actually wrote this play right in my Saturn return, which if you don't know, is the astrological idea that every 27 to 29 years the planet Saturn comes back to where you were when you were born, and so you undergo a major change. So either some people join the 27 Club, like Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, and die, or you go on to something different. One of our recent graduates, Jake Steele, moved to California on his Saturn return. I was about to move to California in my PhD program, and I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have moved from Pennsylvania to California if I didn't think I was changing my life to change the world. And I think when I got to Berkeley, I really realized how much politics is meaningful on a daily basis, and everything we do is a political act, and we can always change somebody or something. So maybe that's part of what it was, that Berkeley really changed my attitude toward that even more so. But I kind of think I've always thought that, but now I still do it. So, yeah.
My character that I played, Marcus, like I thought there was parallelisms between you, like Adam and Marcus, in that like you both wanted to do films, and then Marcus was young and wanted to change the world like you do. So is Marcus a reflection of your younger self, and Adam a reflection of your older self, or is that just purely coincidental?
Probably. I think-
Sure.
Yeah, Matt.
I don't think the overall tone is that you can't change the world. I mean, I think I want to change the world, and then I can't. It's just some commentary on just the way it feels. I mean, because as you're growing up and you're taking in all the information from the world around you, you're not necessarily seeing all of the little changes. I mean, like you said, less people are dying, less people are starving. But I think it's more of, you just have to understand that things don't happen as fast. I mean, the fact that we're not all flying in cars right now and having robotic maids or, making babies and testing,
That did happen, yeah.
that's not super popular. Like, everyone's not a test tube baby.
Right.
It's not, I mean, our hopes are that, in the next 20 years, we're going to have a great president, we're going to have a great country, and that everything's going to be great, world peace. But they don't change like that. It's more slow and subtle.
I call it planting seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the students that I met almost 20 years ago when I came here, I have no idea what I did for them or said to them or the interaction that we had that influenced them in some way to do something. And some of them, I mean, and you don't even recognize it.
Mhm.
You don't even recognize the people who you're interacting with now, how they're influencing you. A really quick story. About a year or two ago, I found my high school guidance counselor, and he had retired. And I found that he was still living in Latrobe, and I got in touch with him. I found him through a guidance counselor website. His email was there, and so I reached out to him, and I asked him if he would meet me for a cup of coffee. He was beyond shocked because he had never had a student reach out to him. And I wanted to talk to him, and I wanted to thank him because he had really been a great advocate for me. When I was in, I think it was 7th grade and was moving in a potentially wrong direction. And so I wanted to make sure that I told him that. And so I guess my point would be, if you have those people in your lives, that you should take that moment to reach out and let them know that they planted a seed.
Yeah. We love that.
We
So please do
love
that.
hearing about the seeds we planted.
Yeah, I have a professor who, I wouldn't be what I am today if it wasn't for her. I mean, she,
Yeah.
something that's changed my life, and she doesn't know that. And I got up the courage to go to contact her, and she had already retired and left, and it was too late. So,
Yeah.
tell us we're great now.
Yeah, like right after this.
Yeah, that would be good.
Or if it's not us and it's somebody else, please tell them as well. Final thoughts?
It was good, I liked it.
Oh,
Well, there's my final
Back.
thought.
Out of all the characters, are they like exactly to a T? Because I know yours is, but like out of all the characters, like are they do they actually represent them like now?
as they are now, you
Yes.
mean? The one is actually, Angela is actually president of Preservation Pennsylvania, so she actually went into historical preservation. Fred is still working as an engineer, but he actually talks pretty much, Bill, you captured him beautifully, I thought. Great. I don't know about Cassie because they divorced, and so they went on Dan, and obviously I've lost track of. And Marcus and Felicity are both
Fake.
fictional characters. So, yeah, a little bit in some ways. So, I don't have much hair, and it's now white. So, wow, that's just scary. If nothing else, thank you all for coming. Annie is sweating.
Hey.